So I'm pretty excited about these cards today. We're going into, or this is the first quarter Libra moon. I have a Libra moon. These cards are aesthetically pleasing to my Libra moon. I have a dragonfly tattoo on my chest. So I'm vibing with these cards, and I'm really grateful that they came today to join us with the energies of the week. So I'm gonna give you a little close-up of these guys. We've got Iron Bark here, Strength card, this purple card, and the Dragonfly. And so I'm going to start with the Iron Bark, which is it's one of my botanical cards, and the Iron Bark is akin to the Strength card in the Major Arcana of the Tarot. And this has to do with not just a strong physical strength, though this particular plant does have that symbolism to it, but a strength of understanding when to be vulnerable and how vulnerability is a strength, but also physicality can be a strength. So of this card, it's about Iron Bark, which is also a member of the eucalyptus family. So this particular tree has very strong fibrous bark, and it is used for building, constructing things because of its strength, and it is also a respiratory helper, and it's known as the king of the forest because it just shoots up and it's super tall. And actually, I think here it's an invasive species that was brought here for the use of constructing things, but then it ended up taking over the landscape in a lot of places. But such is strength when it is allowed to do whatever it wants to do and take over things. So it's something to think about. Don't be an invasive species. Don't impose yourself where it is not necessary for you to impose yourself, but also understand that you bring a lot of strength to the table with just who you are and how you show up in the world. We all do. We all have strength that we're bringing to the table. It's a matter of whether or not we accept it and believe in it. And so this is an opportunity for you to, if you don't believe in your strength, to start to step into that and start to believe in it. But also, if you are a person that believes too much in your strength, or maybe you don't realize how much you're imposing on places, really think about that too and try to do better, because we all have an opportunity to do better by being aware of ourselves. And also, another thing about this particular plant is its flowers give off a sweet nectar, which is a pollinator's dream. So they're really called to the pollinators, and so that's like us. We have this energy that we can give, and it's important for us to give it and to share it with the world, because the pollinators are what is keeping life moving. And so we have the juice. We have the juice. How are we going to utilize it? How are we already utilizing it, and maybe sometimes not in ways that are actually productive or helpful for us. So think about that. And last thing about this particular tree, the eucalyptus, obviously, like the leaves, I think potentially the bark, but I know for sure the leaves are good for the respiratory system. So we use the eucalyptus oils for steaming ourselves, maybe putting it in a bath and like clearing up our lungs. And you think about what you hold in your lungs, that's grief. For me personally, I've just been dealing with lung stuff forever now. I mean, my whole life, but it's been really bad, particularly since the fires. But also dealing with emotional things, then it comes up in lung things. Next thing you know, I have bronchitis and I don't know what to do with myself. Asthma attacks every day. Eucalyptus has been a huge aid for me. It's something that I utilize in oil form and in plant form and tea form. You know, eucalyptus is really bringing that breath back to us, and to remind us to breathe, and to breathe deeply, and to allow grief to pass through us and not hold it on, because when we hold it, it manifests in physical ailments, and that's part of what's going on for me. So this was not only a beautiful card to get, but also a telling card. And so I think everybody just pay attention to your lungs right now. Pay attention to how you are holding strength for yourself in these trying times of tons of retrogrades and eclipse season, bringing back stuff from 10 years ago. It's a lot to think about. So next is this purple lilac card, belief and faith. And so this is a third eye chakra, kind of like purple lavender-ish card, lilac. And it's speaking to, what do we have faith in? What do we find important? What are we investing our time and energy into? Like, who do we have faith in? What do we have faith in? And our belief is really our manifestation tool, and it's the things that we believe that become our truth and our reality. And so if you believe in scarcity and never doing anything that you want to do and never being able to change the world, then you won't. But you could believe that you can, and then you will. It's like, I know that I'm like oversimplifying and making that sound very simple. I understand that it is not simple and that it takes constant practice and work. But I really do believe that we can practice this, and we can work on this, and we can manifest better for ourselves than what the societal structure wants us to believe is possible. As long as we don't believe that we have anything possible outside of this realm, we won't. But we do. And there's millions of opportunities to invest in people that you care for, and to invest in the communities that support you, and to invest in the environments that are supportive of your community. And as much as like belief in a spiritual like deity or higher being or ancestors is important, and I fully believe that this is important because I think that working with the spiritual realm helps us in the physical realm, but it's also important to recognize what it is that we believe in the physical realm. Like, what do we believe in for ourselves? And that is dictating what is actually possible for us. So I encourage you to examine, because we're in all of these retrogrades. I'm not saying like make any strong changes necessarily, but to examine what you have faith and what it is that you believe in, and then work with that in whatever way is necessary. Like, do you need to amend beliefs? Do you need to replace them with new ones? It's all open for you, because what you believe is what will be. And the last card, the dragonfly, one of my favorite symbols, and just like, what a cool bug they are. They're iridescent, they're named after dragons, but they're like small and delicate and beautiful, and they have this ability to actually, like helicopters, they can move in any direction. They can fly up and down, front and back, side to side, and they move with the wind. They're very like dictated by the gusts of wind. And so it's speaking to, like, symbolically and archetypally the air element and the water element. So how you think and communicate about things, and how you feel about things, and how you subconsciously move through things. This is an animal that I believe gets its creation in water and then becomes a flying creature and like develops. And so this is being able to flow, and they live around water sources. And so it's being able to flow with the emotions that are around you, and understanding the things that are moving you and coming and affecting your mind and how you think about things, but still being able to gracefully move through them and lightly, like, allow yourself to flow through the waters and the air. And so the emotions and the thoughts, and not holding too tightly to any one thing, but being able to flow with all of the things. And also the dragonfly, a fun fact about them is they eat tons of mosquitoes, so they're super helpful for us. And so this is just a species of that, like, I love working with, because I hate mosquitoes, you know, like, honestly, let's be real. And they're beautiful. And the symbolism of transformation and dragon energy is strong in this animal, like in the way that they are so ferociously eating the mosquitoes, you know. It's like, how are you going to get rid of the things that frustrate and bug you? How are you going to turn that into nutrients for yourself and how you nurture yourself by figuring out how to invest your mental and emotional energy into things that are actually more constructive for you and ultimately for everybody. So these cards are really speaking to focusing on inner strength and our belief system and what it is we're paying attention to and giving our emotions to in this time of great transformation and upheaval, and reminding us of all of the things that we have gone through and what we will continue to go through and what we need to learn in order to go through the coming situations more functionally, because it doesn't have to be the 2012 apocalypse movie, you know, out here. Like, yes, things will happen, earthquakes are happening, and we could have huge ones that really severely affect us and kill lots of people. Like, these are just realities that we need to like take seriously, but not allow them to drag us down. And I'm just talking about earthquakes here because that's what we've got going on in California. Earthquakes and fires, super fun. But for other people, there's other disasters, and there's no place that is excluded from this, because climate change and the way that we're treating people and the way that we have lost touch with our natural humanity and the connection to Earth, and the individualization and the capitalism that's destroying us from the inside out. This is what wants us to focus on all of the negative stuff so that we can't build a more positive future. But the reality is, I see it, is the more positive future is coming regardless of whether anybody wants it to or not, because the old way of doing things is just not going to be possible anymore. So now we're onto something new, and we better be onto something new in a more positive way, and that's going to require our practice and awareness and attention and movement. So good luck, happy Libra moon, and I'll see you at this next eclipse.